Most drivers don't realize their car has a memory, a digital one. The engine control unit, ECU, learns from past driving habits, which means if the previous owner drove like a turtle, your car might still behave that way. That's sluggish performance? It's the ECU adapting to someone else's style. Dealerships charge big money to reset it, but there's a DIY trick. Disconnect the battery, touch the terminals together safely, and drain all stored power. It wipes the ECU clean. After a varied 30-minute drive, your car begins learning your style, and suddenly it feels sharper, quicker, and more alive. Deep fuel system clean, the forbidden formula. Premium gas isn't cleaning your fuel system. Let's clear that up fast. The octane number has nothing to do with how clean your engine runs. So if you're filling up with 93 instead of 87 hoping for a miracle, you're just burning cash, not carbon. A real deep clean starts with the right chemical mix. This isn't your average gas station injector cleaner. You need industrial-grade formulas with polyethylamine, PEA. These actually dissolve the gunk. And not just a few drops, you double the recommended dose. That's when it actually gets to work. Then there's 99% isopropyl alcohol, the kind you don't get at the pharmacy. This stuff absorbs water in the tank and boosts the power of the injector cleaner. It's not just cleaning, it's drying out the insides. Last piece, 2-stroke synthetic oil. And no, you're not turning your car into a motorcycle. This oil adds lubrication modern gas is missing. It protects injectors and pumps, and keeps the combustion chamber slick and soot-free. When you combine all 3 ingredients, double-dose cleaner, half a liter of high-purity isopropyl, and 200 milliliters of 2-stroke oil, and add them to a near-empty tank before filling up with gas, you create a fuel cocktail that scrubs your system as you drive. You might notice some roughness early on. That's the dirt getting kicked up and burned away. By the 3rd tank with regular cleaner or just oil, your engine runs smoother, idles better, accelerates cleaner, and uses less fuel. It's like giving your car a cleanse, but it actually works. Tire pressure tuning, racing secrets for daily drivers. Most people treat tire pressure like a fixed number. The sticker on your door says 32 psi, so that's gospel, right? Not quite. That number is a compromise. A safe, general value meant for everyone in every condition. But if you want better fuel efficiency, sharper handling, or longer tire life, you've got to dial it in for your specific driving style. If you do lots of highway driving, increase your tire pressure by 3 to 5 psi. You'll reduce rolling resistance and save fuel, sometimes up to 7%. You'll also run cooler and extend the life of your tires. In the city with stop-and-go traffic, a car running slightly overinflated tires on the highway feels tighter, more stable, almost like it's gliding. But lower pressures on twisty roads, that turns the same vehicle into something that hugs the corners with real bite. It's like having multiple personalities at your fingertips, all controlled by a few psi. Seasonal temps matter too. Cold mornings can drop pressure by a few points overnight, enough to make the ride feel sluggish. That's why regular checks aren't just nice to have. They're essential. And let's talk longevity. Keeping your tires properly inflated means they wear evenly, which saves you from replacing them prematurely. Underinflated tires wear on the edges. Overinflated ones wear in the center. But tires tuned to your real-world driving pattern? That's how you get maximum mileage out of them. It's also a safety issue. The right pressure improves braking distances, reduces hydroplaning risk, and even boosts steering feedback. That means more control, more confidence, especially when you need it most. And for folks who tow or carry heavy loads, pressure tuning isn't optional. It's critical. Adding a few psi in the rear underload can stabilize the vehicle and protect sidewalls from damage. In short, mastering your tire pressure isn't just for racers. It's for anyone who wants their car to feel better, drive better, and last longer. Once you dial it in, it becomes second nature. And honestly, you'll wonder why you ever left it up to that little sticker on the door. Air intake system revamp. Let your engine breathe again. Engines breathe, and just like your lungs, they can get congested. Over time, oil vapors, carbon, and dust sneak past filters and coat the inside of your intake. That sticky layer strangles airflow and chokes performance. Start at the throttle body. Remove the intake ducting. Disconnect a few sensors and you'll see it. Black, oily grime all over the throttle plate. Clean it with a proper throttle body cleaner, not brake cleaner, and a soft brush. Get every edge, every surface. Dry it thoroughly. Then comes the intake manifold. This is where things get real. Find a big vacuum line like the one going to your brake booster. With the engine hot and idling, carefully disconnect it. The hissing? Totally normal. Now spray in short bursts using a manifold cleaner that contains acetone or alcohols. The engine will shudder and smoke. Again, normal. You're dissolving years of buildup. On the last spray, flood it a bit and shut off the engine. Let it sit for 15 minutes. Reconnect the hose and restart. You'll get a massive cloud of smoke. That's not a problem. It's the dirt leaving the building. Drive aggressively for a few minutes to burn off the residue. Afterward, your throttle feels sharper, your idle smooths out, and the engine breathes like it's young again. What's happening inside is more than just cleaning. It's a reset for your air intake system. That sticky gunk that built up over years, it narrowed your intake runners and slowed airflow. With it gone, your engine pulls air faster, mixes fuel better, and responds quicker. You'll notice it, especially when going from a slow roll to full throttle. No more hesitation. It's the kind of difference that creeps up on you. One day your car just feels smoother and more eager. Even your fuel economy can get a bump because the engine no longer struggles to draw in air. And here's a bonus. This deep cleaning can also reduce carbon buildup downstream, including on your spark plugs and oxygen sensors. Less carbon means better combustion and fewer emissions. The cleaner your intake path, the cleaner your burn. And for cars that suffer from rough cold starts or random surging at idle, this can be the fix nobody told you about. It's amazing what a little airflow freedom can do. Combine this with a fresh air filter, and you're giving your engine the kind of clean breath it hasn't had in years. Do it every 50,000 kilometers, and you'll prevent those deposits from ever getting thick in the first place. It's basic, effective, and something most people never even think to do. But the ones who do? They know their engines run happier because of it. Transmission shift upgrade, sharper shifts for a longer life. Ever wonder why your automatic shifts feel soft, almost lazy? That's not wear. That's by design. Manufacturers tune transmissions for smoothness, not longevity. But here's the twist. Soft shifts generate heat. Heat wears out clutch packs. So ironically, gentle shifts can shorten your transmission's life. Some older cars use a vacuum modulator, a small device that adjusts transmission pressure based on engine vacuum. Inside is a spring. By adding a tiny washer under this spring, you increase pressure slightly, leading to quicker, firmer shifts. Less slipping, less heat, and a more responsive feel. This mod only works on vehicles with a vacuum modulator, usually 90s and early 2000s models. For newer cars with fully electronic transmissions, you'd need software tweaks. But if your car qualifies, this little trick can seriously improve drive quality and transmission health, without spending a dime. Thermostat swap, unlocking better performance with heat. Your engine wants to run hot. Not boiling over, but warmer than manufacturers usually allow. Most thermostats open at around 82 degrees Celsius. That's conservative. But engines run most efficiently closer to 92 to 95 degrees Celsius. That's where combustion is cleaner, oil flows better, and power peaks. Swapping in a high-temp thermostat means your engine warms up quicker and stays in its optimal range. Fuel economy improves, emissions drop, and cabin heat gets better in winter. Just make sure your cooling system is in good shape. A weak radiator or lazy fan won't cut it. After swapping thermostats, purge all air from the system. Run the engine with the radiator cap off until bubbles stop. Monitor temps for the first few days. Done right, this simple change adds performance and longevity with barely any effort. What many drivers don't realize is that running too cold is just as bad as overheating. A cold engine wears faster. It burns more fuel. It gums up with moisture and carbon. You might think cooler is safer, but in reality, it holds your engine back. That sluggish warm-up every morning, that's efficiency leaking out. With a higher temp thermostat, the engine hits optimal temperature sooner, meaning your oil thins properly, your sensors work accurately, and the ECU can run leaner without stumbling. This is especially noticeable on short trips. Instead of spending most of the ride in cold start mode, the engine stabilizes quickly and runs clean. Even your catalytic converter benefits, because it lights up faster and stays hotter, improving emissions control. Ignition timing trick. Wake up dormant power. Modern cars play it safe with timing. The spark fires late to avoid knock, even with bad fuel or no maintenance. That safety margin robs power. But if your car is well maintained and running premium fuel, you can afford to advance the timing slightly. On engines with a crankshaft position sensor that bolts in, rotating it just 2 millimeters counterclockwise tricks the ECU into firing earlier. That means more complete combustion, stronger mid-range torque, and better throttle response. Listen closely after the adjustment. Any pinging means you've gone too far. Dial it back until it's silent but snappy. This adjustment is small, but the difference in how the car pulls off the line is anything but. Just remember, always use high-octane fuel after this tweak. Catalyst regeneration. Clear the exhaust bottleneck. A clogged catalytic converter doesn't just hurt emissions, it strangles your exhaust flow, kills high RPM power, and makes your car feel bogged down. But you don't need to replace it, not if you catch the problem early. A long, sustained highway drive at 3,000 to 4,000 RPM gets the catalyst hot enough, 400 to 800 degrees Celsius, to self-clean. That's how it was designed. Problem is, most drivers never hit those temps. Too much idling, too little speed. So, take it on a 30-minute highway blast. No stoplights, no coasting. Just steady high RPM. You'll probably smell something weird from the exhaust halfway through. That's carbon burning off. When it's over, power comes back, fuel economy improves, and your exhaust system can breathe again. Chassis silencing. Make your ride feel new again. Creaks, clunks, and squeaks don't mean your car's falling apart, just that it needs some TLC. Most of these noises come from dry bushings, worn joints, and neglected suspension points. Lift the car safely. Inspect all rubber bushings. If they're just dry, not cracked, hit them with silicone spray, not petroleum oil. That keeps rubber supple without damage. Look for grease fittings on ball joints or tie rods. If they're there, use a grease gun to fill them. You'll flush out the old junk and restore smooth motion. Shocks making noise? A dab of lithium grease at the shaft seal can silence them. These little touches won't just make your car quieter, they tighten up the whole ride, making it feel newer, more solid, and way more enjoyable. Engine vapor bath. Detox from the inside. The top of your pistons and intake valves are carbon magnets, especially in direct injection engines, which don't get fuel washing over the valves. This buildup can cause knock, poor fuel economy, and power loss. The solution? A deep vapor cleaning. Using a vacuum line like the brake booster hose, you feed a special cleaner into the intake while the engine runs. It vaporizes, hits hot spots, and melts away deposits. The key move is shutting the engine off right after a big gulp. That lets the chemical soak inside the combustion chamber. Wait 20 minutes. Start the engine. Brace yourself. A white cloud of smoke will flood out, and that's good. That's carbon leaving the building. Drive hard for 10 minutes to finish the purge. Once done, your engine runs smoother, knocks less, and feels revitalized from the inside out. If you've ever failed an emissions test due to high NOx or HC levels, this could be your secret weapon. Plus, a cleaner chamber leads to fewer hot spots, which helps control pre-ignition, the enemy of long-term engine health. Some enthusiasts even say this is the closest thing to a chemical tune-up, and the results speak for themselves. It doesn't just feel like an engine refresh. It feels like the engine finally remembered what it was designed to do. Run clean, run strong, and run proud. Each of these 12 hidden methods isn't just a tip. It's a game changer. They go far beyond the surface. They reset, restore, protect, and unlock performance in ways most drivers never realize are even possible. And the best part? You don't need a garage full of tools. Just a bit of knowledge, patience, and the mindset to take back control of your machine. If this helped open your eyes to how much power and longevity your car really has, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who's tired of paying for fixes they could do better themselves.